Luxury living room design. Expert guide to create a beautiful and expensive-looking space. Welcome back to Everyday Interiors TV. Your living room is more than just a space where you place a sofa, television and center table. It is the heart of your home. It is where you welcome guests, spend time with family, relax after a long day and create some of your most important memories. But designing a beautiful living room is not simply about buying expensive furniture. A truly luxurious living room is created when the layout, proportions, colors, lighting, materials and details all work together. So in today's video, we are going to talk about how to design a living room like an interior design professional. Whether you have a small apartment living room, a large luxurious space or you are planning a complete renovation, these principles will help you create a living room that feels more beautiful, balanced, comfortable and expensive. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to Everyday Interiors TV, because here we talk about interiors, luxury materials, colors, furniture, design ideas and practical expert advice that can help you design a home you truly love. The first and probably the most important step is to understand your layout. Before selecting your sofa or deciding on a wall color, ask yourself how the room will actually be used. Is it primarily for family gatherings? Do you entertain guests often? Do you watch television here every day? Or is it a formal living room that is mainly designed for conversations and entertaining? Your furniture arrangement should always support the way you live. One of the biggest mistakes people make is pushing every piece of furniture against the walls. Instead, try creating a proper seating zone. In a larger room, floating your sofa slightly away from the wall can immediately make the space feel more professionally designed. Next comes the focal point. Every beautiful living room needs something that naturally attracts attention. This could be a beautiful television wall, a fireplace, a large artwork, a textured wall, a window with an exceptional view or even a dramatic lighting feature. Once you identify the focal point, arrange the rest of the furniture around it. The room should feel like it has a visual direction rather than multiple elements competing for attention. Now let's talk about the sofa, because it is usually the largest and most important piece of furniture in the living room. Instead of choosing a sofa only because it looks beautiful in a showroom, consider its scale in relation to your room. A very large sofa can make a small room feel crowded, while a small sofa in a large space can look lost. Measure your room properly and think about circulation around the furniture. You should be able to move comfortably through the space. For a more luxurious look, consider softer silhouettes, deeper seating, beautiful upholstery and well-designed proportions rather than simply choosing the biggest sofa possible. Another secret to a professionally designed living room is layering your seating. Instead of using only one large sofa, consider combining it with accent chairs, lounge chairs, ottomans or smaller occasional seating. This creates a more interesting composition and also makes conversation easier. Try mixing different forms while maintaining one common design language. For example, if your sofa is simple and structured, you can introduce softer curved chairs to create contrast. The next element that can completely transform your living room is the color palette. A luxury interior does not necessarily mean everything needs to be beige, white or gray. The key is creating a color story. Choose a base color and then build layers using complementary tones. For example, warm neutrals can be combined with deep browns, muted greens, burgundy, charcoal or even soft blue depending on the atmosphere you want to create. Instead of introducing too many unrelated colors, repeat a few tones across your furniture, cushions, artwork, curtains and accessories. If you want your living room to feel calm and sophisticated, consider using tonal colors. This means using different shades and depths of the same color family. A combination of warm beige, taupe, caramel and chocolate brown can feel incredibly rich when layered properly. Similarly, soft grays with charcoal and black accents can create a contemporary and elegant look. The secret is not necessarily choosing the trendiest color but understanding what atmosphere you want your living room to create. One of the most overlooked aspects of interior design is lighting. A beautiful living room can look completely flat under one bright ceiling light. Professional interiors use multiple layers of lighting. Start with ambient lighting for overall illumination, then add decorative lighting such as chandeliers or pendant lights, and finally introduce accent lighting through table lamps, floor lamps, wall lights or concealed lighting. A floor lamp placed beside a lounge chair can instantly create a beautiful reading corner. Table lamps can make a room feel warmer in the evening. Wall lights can highlight textures and artwork. The goal is to create different moods for different times of the day. Lighting should not only help you see the room, it should help you experience the room. Let's now talk about the television wall, because this is often where people either create something beautiful or make the living room feel unnecessarily cluttered. A television wall should be integrated into the overall design rather than looking like an afterthought. You can use wood, stone, textured finishes, metal details, fluted surfaces or subtle paneling depending on your style. However, avoid adding every possible material to one wall. Luxury often comes from restraint. Choose one strong concept and execute it beautifully.
Another important element is the rug. A rug has the power to visually connect your entire seating arrangement. One of the most common mistakes is choosing a rug that is too small. Ideally, the rug should be large enough to connect the main furniture pieces. Even having the front legs of your sofa and chairs placed on the rug can make the arrangement feel more intentional and luxurious. Now let's move towards one of my favorite parts of designing a living room: texture and material layering. A room where everything has the same smooth finish can feel flat and lifeless. Introduce contrast through materials. You could combine soft upholstery with natural wood, stone with metal, glass with textured fabrics, or polished surfaces with handmade details. The beauty lies in the balance. You don't need 10 different materials. Even 3 or 4 thoughtfully selected textures can create depth. Curtains are another major element that can completely change the proportions of your living room. If possible, install your curtains higher and wider than the actual window. This can make the ceiling feel taller and the windows appear larger. Choose fabrics that complement the overall mood of the room. Soft flowing fabrics can create an elegant atmosphere, while heavier and more structured fabrics can add drama and richness. Let's also talk about artwork, because a well-selected artwork can transform an ordinary wall into a statement. The artwork does not always need to match every color in your room exactly. In fact, sometimes a contrasting piece can create much more visual interest. Pay attention to scale. A very small artwork on a large wall can feel disconnected. Consider either one substantial piece or a carefully curated composition. The center table or coffee table should also be selected based on proportion. It should be practical enough for everyday use while visually connecting with the rest of the furniture. A round or curved table can soften a room filled with straight lines, while a more structured rectangular table can bring order to a softer composition. Styling the table with a few books, a sculptural object, flowers or a beautiful tray can make the room feel complete, but remember that styling should not interfere with functionality. Now, if you really want your living room to look expensive, pay attention to details and proportions. Luxury is often felt before it is consciously noticed. It can be the thickness of a curtain fabric, the quality of upholstery, the alignment of furniture, the height of a lamp, the scale of an artwork, or the way different materials meet each other. You do not always need more decoration. Sometimes removing unnecessary elements can make the entire room look more sophisticated. Another important expert tip is to create visual breathing space. Do not try to fill every empty corner. An empty area can actually help an important piece of furniture or artwork stand out. A luxurious interior feels curated, not crowded. When every wall has decoration and every surface has accessories, the eye doesn't know where to rest. For smaller living rooms, the same principles apply, but scale becomes even more important. Choose furniture with appropriate proportions, use multifunctional pieces when required, and maintain clear circulation. Mirrors can help reflect light and create a sense of openness, but they should be placed thoughtfully rather than simply added to every wall. A lighter palette can make the room feel open, while carefully introduced darker accents can add depth. And finally, remember that the best living room is not one that simply looks good in photographs. It should also feel good to live in. Your home should reflect your personality, your lifestyle, and the way you want to feel when you walk through the door. A luxurious living room can be minimal, colorful, contemporary, traditional, or deeply personal. The key is to create a sense of harmony. So, to quickly bring everything together, start with a functional layout, identify your focal point, select furniture according to scale, create a cohesive color palette, layer your lighting, introduce texture, Choose the right rug size, pay attention to curtains and artwork, and most importantly, don't overcrowd the space. When all of these elements work together, even a simple living room can look incredibly refined and expensive. If you enjoyed this expert guide to living room design, make sure you like this video, subscribe to Everyday Interiors TV and turn on the notification bell. We are here to make interior design easier to understand, more practical and much more inspiring. Let me know in the comments, what is the one thing you want to change in your living room right now? The sofa, color, TV wall, lighting or overall layout? Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video on Everyday Interiors TV, where we continue exploring beautiful homes, luxury interiors and practical expert design ideas.